Good morning. We'll start session 1 on chapter statistics. You have already studied this chapter statistics in 9th standard. Basics we had, we dealt with all ungrouped data there. So here we'll be dealing with everything as grouped data. So by now you already know what you mean by a grouped and ungrouped data. What is the meaning of statistics or a definition of statistics? It is the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation and presentation of the data. That is data what we collect, information what we collect. So first of all it is a collection. Then after collecting we organize the data. How do we organize? We organize that either in the tally form which you studied last year or the grouped form, that is class interval form. We analyze it. What we have to do while collecting and grouping the data. Then we interpret, we take out the interpretation and present the data. How do we present it? Sometimes graphically we present it or sometimes we just calculate and get the solution. So that is the meaning of statistics. Basically what all terms we get to deal with this? We get to deal with the class interval, frequencies, then tally which you had last year. After that class mark which is nothing but the midpoint of the class interval, range. The highest score minus lowest score is called as a range of the given group data, and coefficient of range, highest minus lowest divided by highest plus lowest. Then we had three measures of central tendency, that is mean, median and mode, which you studied last year for the ungrouped form. Now what is the ungrouped form of data? Raw data is called as an ungrouped form. For example, in a class there are 20 students and the test marks scored by these 20 students are, that is the raw data, right? Group data when we do, we just group them. So how many children have scored marks between 10 to 20, between 20 to 30, between 30 to 40? This is something where we group the data, right? That is what we study. Frequency is the number of times the score is repeating. How many number of times or how many children have scored between 10 to 20? It's a number. What? How many times it repeats. We also studied something about continuous and discrete. That is, in the class interval we will study that. About continuous and discrete we will do as we are going with the numericals. Right? So about all those basic terms, I will be sending you one small PDF where you can write down. Now here I have just written down actually this year what you are studying. Basics of statistics what you should know, I will be sending you as a PDF. So measures of central tendency are mean, median and mode. So definition wise, mean is the average of the given data. Average what we find. Median is the middlemost score of the given data. Remember, last year we found out mean for the ungrouped data. Median was also for ungrouped data. Mode is the more number of times, the most repeated score is nothing but the mode. Here we find the median for middlemost score of orderly arranged data. So let us learn here for group data how do we find it. Mode is the most often repeated score, right? Ungrouped data very easy, just see what score is repeated and write down. For group data, we have certain formulas. There is an empirical relation between mean, median and mode. It is given by 3 median is equal to mode plus 2 mean. This formula is usually asked in MCQ style. Like they give you the mean of the given data and mode of the given data is given in numbers form. Find the mode. Can we apply this formula and find it? Yes. We don't have any numericals there in the textbook based on this, but this is the relation between mean, median and mode. Let's actually start with what you have in your syllabus, that is methods of calculating mean. Now mean we know that it is average of the given data, right? So basically how do you find mean? Mean is given by sigma fx upon n, or this is for group. Last year you found out that sigma x upon n. N is nothing but the same here. Number of scores what we find. Here I have written as Fi. I'll explain that. So total number of scores. It is simple if you have to understand. Total number of scores divided by number of scores, right? That is what in mean we find. We can find out mean in group data in three different ways: direct method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. Okay? So, when to use this method? Now, first of all, read the question. Now, question tells that you have to find the mean by a particular given method. If they have asked, stick to it. Otherwise, it's of your choice to either find by direct method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. Children, what fun is here? In direct method, the formula is very simple, but you have much calculation, bigger numbers you get. In assumed mean method, your calculation part is lengthy, right? Simple calculations. You have to remember the formula and apply. Same in assumed mean and step deviation. But the question arises is, which type of sum to solve in which type of method? Let's first understand direct method. Direct method is what? Mean is equal to sigma frequency of the class interval into midpoint of the class interval. What does this I represent? I represent the class interval. Frequency of the class interval into midpoint of the class interval divided by total frequency of the class interval. Now class interval is given, frequency is given, you find the midpoint, right? So this is found like this. Next column will be Fi, Xi. So final column will be sigma Fi, Xi. Here final column will be sigma Fi. That's all. Mean is done. But when can we use this? We can use this when the given data is very small. Like numbers are also quite very small. Why? Because you need to multiply this, children. Assume that the numbers are, frequency given here is 5, 10, 15, something like that, where the midpoint of the class interval is in terms of 85, 95, midpoint, right? Multiplying that, such big numbers, I know you can multiply, no doubt. Calculators are not allowed, you have to do the calculation manually. So multiplication goes very big there. Under that condition, we go for assumed mean method. Point number 1. Point number 2, we can also use assumed mean when the mean of the given, or we can say here, whatever mean you get here, final answer, sometimes it will be in terms of decimal. Difficult for calculation. At that time, you can go for assumed mean method. Then what is step deviation method? Step deviation method can be found out if you have common factors in the class interval. I mean, when the class interval you see, there will be some term as common factors. Now, whatever I explained, that appears a bit vague to you. That's why, because we have not seen the numericals yet, right? So, whatever I have explained now, just listen to whatever I have told. Understand, make a point somewhere, when to use this and this. Then, you can actually understand and apply to it when we start with the exercise. Then again, I will tell you, why am I using this direct method, why am I using assumed mean method, and why am I using step deviation method. Very clear? Assumed mean method, as the name tells, assumed mean. Let us assume one mean. Now from where do you assume a mean? We assume the mean from the class mark, from the midpoint. One midpoint of the value is chosen as a mean. Usually the middlemost we take. If it is not middlemost, a bit up and down. That is chosen as a assumed mean. That is A. Now you can ask me, assume that I took one score. In my class, another student took one more score as an assumed mean. Will that be correct? Yes, it will be correct. Final answer is going to be the same thing at the last, right? It might only differ in points in this. Because that is why assumed mean, what mean I choose and what mean you choose. Usually there is a method, we have to choose the middlemost. But sometimes what happens, you know, if the middlemost score is 2, right? This and this will come. At that time, either of one you can choose. Okay? In that, if I choose this and you choose this, answer will come the same, children. Only in point. Again, same thing. Whatever I am repeating, I am telling now. So, only when we start exactly with the exercise, you will have a clear picture about this assumed mean. Formula is mean is equal to assumed mean plus sigma, sum of the frequencies, and deviation divided by total number of frequencies. Now what is this deviation? Where A is assumed mean, deviation is nothing but class mark minus A, assumed mean. Class mark is midpoint. Midpoint minus A will give you this. See, the trick is here, remember the formula, you will know what columns you have to put. Okay? Last step deviation method. Formula is A, assumed mean, plus sigma, sum of the frequencies into ui divided by sum of the frequencies into h, where we know that A is assumed mean, ui is class mark minus assumed mean divided by h. H is size of the class interval. Now 0 to 10, 10 to 20, when I talk about size, we see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 will come there, 0 to 10. But 10 to 11, I have 10 to 20 I have, 20 to 30 I have next interval. That 10 is repeated in the next part, right? That means if it is repeated, I have to take always one less. You know that about class interval size, how we find. Size of the class interval is 10. So size is 10 here. Ui is nothing but class mark. Did you see one thing? Everywhere we have to find the class mark, right? Either here, here or here. Class mark minus assumed mean, which you have already chosen, divided by h, height. This is the formula to calculate step deviation. Next, how to find mean is over. How to find mode we will see for group data first. Mode was the mode was the most often repeated score, right? That was in the ungrouped data. Here in the group data, we have a formula L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2 times of F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H, where L is the lower limit of the modal class. What is modal class? We'll study that while we are solving the sums. While we are explaining the mode part, I will re-explain once again. Similarly, with respect to what is F1, F0 and F2. Now, what you can do is, even if I tell you, if you don't understand at all what is modal class here, even if I explain, it will be a way. So, I want you all to just write down the formulas, because at the starting of the lesson, if you write down the date, if you write down all the definitions and all the formulas of central tendency, mean, median and mode, our work will be only to start with the exercise, right? Then, as in when we are solving, you will understand what is a modal class. This is the formula for mode. We will learn this once again how to do once we begin with the exercise. Then we have median of group data. The formula goes, median is the middlemost score that we used to find in the ungrouped data. In the group data, it is L plus n by 2 minus Cf upon f into h. What is Cf? It is the cumulative frequency of the class. Now, what is cumulative frequency, children? You will study that once we start with the median. So, today's class, I am going to only end with the introduction chapter with statistics, that is basic definitions and the formulas what we are going to deal with in the chapter. The second part of statistics is about the graphical portion, that is ogive. Using that, how to find median. That will be done in the next part of this. So, give the heading statistics. This you will be writing in your theory notebook only. Only the graph part will come in the graph book. Okay. So, give the heading statistics. You can write down this much. Then a small PDF will be shared with you, which contains all the basic terms about statistics which you have already studied in standard time.